it's Tracy coming to you live from New Hampshire Writers Project headquarters. I hope you're having a great night. I am here tonight with our own Marjorie, who is our chair of New Hampshire Writers Project. How are you, Marjorie?
I'm fantastic, thank you.
And I'm sure people know you well. And I'm sure everyone knows Claudia, who is in charge of the Literary Awards for this year, which I'm very excited that we could all get together and give people a little bit of a inside look at how things have been going, because I know we only have a couple weeks left for people to submit. So it's very important that we make sure we get all those questions answered for anyone who is on the fence or just has questions about submitting for this amazing opportunity. So we're going to talk to you tonight about that. And if you have questions at all, we'd love to hear from you. And before we get into it, just in case anybody is not familiar with either one of you, Mashri, can you just tell us a little bit about yourself and your role at New Hampshire Writers Project?
Absolutely. I am the chair of New Hampshire Writers Project, and I've been the chair since 2017. And I am a writer and an indie publisher. I actually participated in my first year as part of the board and submitted my book, The Oracle Files Escape, and it won in 2019, actually tied with Margaret Porter's book. And so I know how valuable this literary awards program is. And I just enjoy, and I feel so blessed that I have a great team, and everything that we've been creating since 2017 has just been miraculous, that we are here and thriving.
Agreed, and well said. Claudia, can you tell us a little bit about yourself in case anyone's not familiar with you?
Hello, everyone. My name is Claudia Decker. I have been a member of NHWP since 2019. I used to be the moderator of The Writers Night Out in Nashua, and I joined the board 2019, 2020, I can't remember. It's been 5 years, but I had the honor of taking on the Literary Awards and helping Marjorie to organize the process and distribute the books and gather the judges. And so this has been such an honor to do this. And this will be my fourth biennial literary awards that I'll be the chair of. And it's always so wonderful to see the talent in our state and to see the submissions coming in. And I'm just excited to get started in June with another round of our literary awards.
Absolutely. And thank you both to both of you for everything that you do to support the organization. I know the literary awards, even though they only happen every other year, are, quite a big undertaking, and really appreciate everything you do to support the literary community in that matter. So why don't we talk a little bit about why this is a meaningful opportunity for writers?
Claudia, do you want to do that, or shall I start?
I can certainly jump in. I can say that from the time that I first participated in the process of gathering the books and selecting the judges, I'm always impressed at the talent that we have in our state, whether it be New Hampshire writers that are writing about New Hampshire or one of the 5 categories, or writers from outside the state that are writing stories about the state of New Hampshire. It is, the process is always something that brings a lot of joy to myself and to the board. And Marjorie, go ahead and jump in.
Okay. Well, the other thing that's so wonderful about this is that we finally have, I think it was in 2021, we actually received notice and acknowledgement from the big 5 publishers who are now submitting their authors' books to our literary awards, which is huge to gain that type of recognition that the big 5 are saying, oh, we want you to win this. So we are, that alone, that in addition to the fact that we've been doing this, I think, since 2014, is miraculous that we are still here and doing this and growing and acknowledging all the talent that we have here in the state.
Yeah, and it's wonderful that it's grown so much over the years and that it's become so widely acceptable, widely accepted. I know it is quite a prestigious honor, which, I want to skip around in our thought process here with the questions, because what I'd like to ask you both is, for anybody who's on the fence or thinking, maybe I'll wait till 2027, is there anything you can say to them that would encourage them to submit this year versus waiting?
Well, they have to follow the guidelines for submissions. There is a time period. And Claudia, if you could refresh my memory, I think it's January 2022 through December 2023 is the submission.
Yes, that is correct.
Period.
Well, actually, I think you guys told me January 1st, 2023 to December 31st, 2024.
I think it's the years. Yes, that was
I
the
always get that confused. So thank you for that correction, Tracy. So they should really look at the timing of it, because if they have a book that's been recently published within that time frame, they should do it for that, for this particular for this literary awards, because after this point, then they are out of the time zone that they could submit. So doing it when you are in alignment with submission guidelines is ideal.
And can you speak a little bit to the fact of, what kind of prestigious opportunity this is for the people who win?
Well, thankfully, one of our board members has made it it has always been prestigious because you get a nice crystal award, but we upped the game a bit by one of our board members created this literary seal, award seal, that now goes on each book that has won. And we now also have one for the finalists. So everybody walks away with a sense of a job well done. You may not win, but if you're a finalist, you still walk away with an acknowledgement that I think is really important in today's publishing and literary community.
Also, the People's Choice Award allows authors to refresh my memory here, Mashari. The People's Choice Award allows authors an opportunity to show their book covers and to have the public come in and vote.
Yes.
And so that we offer a certificate for 5 of the winners of the People's Choice. So that too is also part of the literary awards process. It occurs right before, I want to say a couple of months before we announce the win and the winners.
Before the ceremony. It's a couple of weeks before the ceremony. So there's also another way to win and be a part of this prestigious literary awards. And we're the only one in the States that's doing it. And so we're very, very lucky, and we take great measures and go through a lot to make sure that it is of the highest standards and quality. So we're very proud of it.
Yeah, agreed. And so let's talk a little bit about the eligibility requirements in case anyone is not familiar. So can you tell me what kind of works are eligible this year?
Well, this year we've done something slightly different. There's nonfiction, fiction, and let's see, children's books, YA, and poetry. So there's the 5 categories. Now, what we've done something a little different with the nonfiction is that we've expanded. We tried to make a list of the kinds of books that are that you can submit for the literary awards. And while we don't have cookbooks this year, we'll find some way maybe in the future to have a category that's focused on cookbooks. But we really wanted the nonfiction, whether it's a memoir or something historical or an interesting topic, we really wanted to shine a spotlight on those books, those nonfiction books. but I think we cover all the categories, and young adult, children's books, poetry, fiction and nonfiction, which all have, they're all of their different subgenres.
Wonderful. Okay. And so, can self-published authors submit their work?
Absolutely.
Perfect.
Especially because I am still a self-published author. And at the time when I submitted back in 2019, one of the former Literary Awards committee personnel said, you really should submit. You should submit. I said, but I'm a chair. I'm on the board. She says, no, it's done so that even the board, it's set up and arranged so that even the board members can do so, because the board members don't know the judges, don't know who the judges are. So with that said, I submitted, and I have to tell you, I was surprised that I won. I was grateful. I was surprised. I was happy. I was grateful. And when I tied with another author, I really felt a little relief, because I said, gee, they liked us both. And so it's just an amazing kind of reward for self-published authors to have this opportunity. And once upon a time, I think self-published authors were not allowed to submit. And we have since done away with that, because the self-publishing community has changed so much.
Yeah, that's agreed. And I love the fact that we have independent judges that are separate from our board. And it's a very, very laid out process, so that everybody's, what do I want to say? We don't know who the judges are.
Yeah, they all remain anonymous. They will always be anonymous.
Yeah, and I think that's such an important process, part of the process. So I'm really glad that we do that. So can we talk a little bit about the residency requirements for authors? Do they have to live in New Hampshire in order to participate?
They either have to live in New Hampshire, or they have to or their book has to be about New Hampshire.
Correct.
Okay. Perfect. Okay. And are ebooks or digital submissions acceptable?
Not yet.
Okay. No. I think that's a nightmare. That's a nightmare, because, well, it's easy to hit send as opposed to complete the form, take the form with 3 books and mail it. That requires a level of commitment. Pushing the button is very easy. And quite frankly, I think for judges to have to read ebooks would be taxing.
Okay. Something that we might consider in the future, or?
I don't know. I think it's important that we stay with the actual print book. I really think that that's important.
Okay. And so 3 copies are needed to submit. And is there a specific reason why we have 3? Is it because there's 3 judges?
3 sets of eyes get a look at each work. And at the end of the process, when all of the scores are turned in, 2 head judges are in charge of collecting the scores and getting in touch with the other judges in case of if they have to break ties or if they have to discuss the scoring process. And it's the 2 head judges that actually submit the names of the winners and the finalists to the
Crown Trophy.
To Crown Trophy, exactly.
So we never know until we get.
It's a surprise to us as well as to everyone that's attending the ceremony.
Yeah, we actually read the finalists, and then we're handed the box. We open the box, and that's when we see who has won.
So it's a surprise till the very end for everyone.
Oh, it's very Oscar-like. It's so much fun. Yes, it's love. It's actually a really wonderful experience. The ceremony is it's really a lovely experience, and people are genuinely thrilled. We've had people, teachers from Exeter's Phillips Academy competing. I mean, the range of people come in. From one woman wrote, she was living here. She had to fly in. I think she was from the Midwest at this point. She had to fly in, and for the awards, she was so excited. And it's also time to meet other authors, your colleagues and your peers, and it's just lovely.
I agree. And so we call it a nomination process, but self-nominations are allowed, correct?
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely. What I like about this literary awards is that you don't have to wait for someone to acknowledge you.
And if you're a board member, you're not precluded from participating. This is why we take such great care to make sure that nobody on the board votes for any of the books, because we on the board are volunteers and we're also writers. And so the judging process is anonymous also for that reason.
Okay, that makes a lot of sense. And so I know the deadline is coming up. We're only a couple weeks away, June 6th. And if you could just clarify. So it's my understanding that the package, their submission, needs to be postmarked by June 6th. So even if
Right.
you received it on the 8th or the 10th, if the mail was a little bit slower or something like that as a holiday, well, actually, I don't think there's any holidays around then. As long as it's postmarked by that date, we'll accept
Correct.
it. Now, what if somebody says something happened, I just couldn't get it to you on time? Are they out until 2027?
They're out. I have had people get on their horse and ride it to me. So, and that's okay. I'm okay with that. They'll when we were at the Ford House, they would deliver it to the Ford House just because of printing time, and they were trying to make sure, it was a clean copy and all those fun publishing editorial issues. So I get it, but we need to be fair to everyone. There's one date
Yep, that makes
that's
a lot of sense.
applicable to all.
Yep, absolutely. And so if someone's on the fence about submitting, they're a little bit gun shy, what do we do to push them over that fence to get involved with this? Because even if you don't win, as you mentioned earlier on, there's just so much to learn from the process. There is networking at the different events coming up. So, I mean, based on, things you've seen in the past, Claudia, running the literary awards, is there any advice you'd give to somebody who's just like, oh, it's a lot of work to fill it out and send my books? What would you say to them?
Well,
I
that's the
would
easy
say,
part.
I'm sorry, Tracy, did you want Masherie or me? I'm sorry.
Sorry,
Yeah,
I'm sorry,
either one.
Claudia. No, you go. You go.
Okay. All right. So I would say put yourself out there. There's so much more to being a writer than just writing. I mean, getting your book out there, getting your story finished, getting your cover, all of the things that go into bringing life to our stories is just one step. Networking, being part of a writing family, which is our mission. And even if you don't win, you're out there. There is a reader for every book. We honestly believe that. And you never know the impact that your story is going to have on people unless you participate in our literary awards and in other contests. It's really just a wonderful way to give life to your stories. So I would encourage any author, whether they are indie publishers, whether they are nominated by a publishing house, or just, taking the brave step of nominating themselves. It's truly worth putting yourself and breathing life into your story and putting it in the hands of someone that you just never know how your story is going to touch the readers out there. So I highly encourage authors for all those reasons to participate.
And Claudia, I'd like to add to what you're just saying is the People's Choice Awards, every book is being displayed. So even if you're not a finalist, people will know about your book because the book cover is there, the synopsis of the story is there. So everybody who's voting is seeing your book. And so you never know what will come from just being part of that process. So
And again,
it's lovely that we have these different tiers of recognition within the literary awards itself.
Well said.
Yeah, I agree. It can be a very validating process. And you don't know unless you try, step out of your comfort zone and submit. It is a very easy application to fill out. And then you simply print out the completed application and you mail that with 3 copies and a check for $75 to the address provided. And that's it. Then you're done. And it's a waiting process at that point. But yeah, there's so much opportunity there. And if you, take a chance and put yourself out there, you just never know what could happen. So I really love that opportunity that we give to people. So really all you have to do is go to nhwritersproject.org, click on 2025 programs and events, and you'll find information about the literary awards there, all the guidelines and all of the information you need to submit, as well as the information coming up on the ceremony, the People's Choice Awards, how the judges are chosen. There's FAQs. All of your questions should be answered there. And if they're not, who can someone reach out to if they have additional questions?
I think they can go to the Literary Awards email.
Put the email in the chat, or actually, I don't think we have a chat.
Yeah,
but
you Literary Awards at
nhwritersproject.org.
All right,
and I think it's also listed on the webpage for that as well.
Yep.
That we can post it there. But we answer all the emails every day. Yeah, so one-stop shop.
Yeah, perfect. So if you're watching on the replay and you have questions, feel free to tag us under this video. We will get answers for your questions. Again, remember that the postmark date is no later than June 6th. So you have 2 more weeks. Don't miss this opportunity because, as we mentioned, it will not come back again until 2027. So we really hope you'll put yourself out there and take a chance. So Mashri and Claudia, thank you very much for joining me. I appreciate it.
Thank you, Tracy.
Yeah, I'm glad to get this additional information out and just talk a little bit more with you both about this awesome opportunity. And good luck to everyone who, submits, and we'll be rooting for all of you.
And thank you, Claudia, for doing all of this work. It's such a, we're so blessed to have you leading us on with this amazing award that we offer. So thank you.
And I would just like to end by encouraging again, anyone that's listening out there and on the fence, you won't lose anything by submitting, and you have a world of opportunity to get your story out there. So I look forward to any and all of your submissions for the Literary Awards of 2025. Thank you so much, Tracy, for putting us out there.
Perfect.
We hope to get your books.
Well, thank you both for joining me tonight. Thank you for watching us, and we look forward to receiving your books. Have a great night, everyone.
Bye, all.
Bye, everyone.